Johnny Boy at Fight Hype. I'm here with one of the best trainers in the game, Abel Sanchez. How are you, Abel?
I'm doing great, Johnny. Nice to talk to you, man.
Yeah, definitely, man. I was trying to do this for a while. You were in Riyadh, right?
Yes, I was for about 12 days, 12, 13 days. Yeah.
Wow. Now you're back in Big Bear and you're having technical difficulties, right? Over there.
Well, the we had thunderstorms here a while ago, and it knocked the power off. So I'm in my gym trying to finish my construction that I'm doing in a new gym, and I have no power.
Oh man, you're always working, man. Well, we hope you're safe out there.
Oh, it's safe. I can't do nothing right now, so it's a good time to talk.
Absolutely. I won't keep you too long, but I want to there's a lot of things going on in the boxing world right now, uh, particularly about Gervonta Tank Davis and Jake Paul facing each other. What are your thoughts on this? Is boxing becoming a circus? What do you think about this? Is this messing up the sport?
Is that a true I mean, is it true? Is that fact that they're gonna face each other, or is that just some kind of hype they're trying to build them, get on the internet and get some views? I don't I can't see that fight happening.
Yeah, it could happen, but they're saying it's going to be an exhibition so they can get around all the the legalities
Commission.
about it.
Yeah, the commission of it. Yeah, well,
Yeah.
if it's gonna be an exhibition, I think it's a farce. I mean, Gervonta Davis is one of my favorite fighters, but I think it's a farce.
You think it's just a money grab, and he'll probably get 10 million to fight Lamar Roach, and then he'll make 50 million with Jake Paul. It's hard to get to that type of money to get away from it. It's really tempting.
Well, as a businessman and as somebody's got to prepare their future, I mean, I can't blame them, but it's not good for the sport. I think that is Gervonta Davis is a very good fighter. Like I said, he's one of my favorites. So I would hate to see him do that. But who am I to question somebody's money earning?
Definitely. Do you think he ducked Lamar Roach, or is just the money thing? He
No, I
doesn't want
think
to
that
fight because it was close.
no, you know what? I think Gervonta Davis is his own man, and I think he does what he wants to do in his time. He doesn't, unfortunately, he doesn't fight often enough for me. But I think that he's the one guy that if you're going to press him to do something, he's going to do just the opposite.
Definitely. And then if this fight does take place with Jake Paul, how does he beat Jake Paul? Who wins that fight? What happens in that fight?
Well, you just said it's an exhibition, so they're probably going to be wearing headgear. They're probably going to be wearing big gloves. They're probably going to be. It's not going to be a sanctioned bout because I doubt there's a commission in the country that'll approve it. But if it's going to be an exhibition, how do you determine a winner?
Exactly. But if Gervonta, if this fight does happen, whatever happens, does he retire? Is his heart really in boxing? Do you think he still wants to continue to fight?
Well, if it's true what you said about that number, I mean, it'd be difficult to get motivated if he's not motivated now to fight any of the fighters that are out there. Why would he get motivated now if he's getting that kind of money?
Absolutely. But switching gears, we'll see what happens with that. That's going to be a big, big show.
I hope it doesn't.
I agree. I hope it doesn't either. I'd rather him fight Lamont or fight Shakur or fight someone in his weight class and keep boxing, the way it's supposed to be. But
Yeah, I think
we'll see what happens.
The Shakur fight for me is I think that would be a classic.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest fight in boxing right now, especially after the performance of Shakur Stevenson in Queens against Zepeda.
Yeah,
But how do you
yeah.
like that fight playing out, Gervonta and Shakur? Who wins that fight, Abel?
I'm not gonna go against my man. I have to take Davis. I think he does things in there that we as coaches can't teach. He does things in there from the street. He does he's so calculating that I would have to take Davis.
You think Gervonta has the best timing in boxing because it seems like he takes off the first few rounds, he's downloading the information, and then he times it perfectly and gets you out of there.
Yeah, I don't think I wouldn't call it timing. I would call it
Mm.
instinct.
Instant.
He's yeah, he just seems to do things at the right moment. He looks like he's not even prepared to throw a punch, and I think I take it from since he was let me just say didn't grow up in the best of places in the streets. I'm sure he got in a lot of fights with a lot of big guys, and he had to figure out a way to hold his own, and how he ducks and how he throws his punches. To me, it's similar of he got in a fight with a 6'3" guy, and he had to knock him out, and the only way to do it is to do that awkward things that he does, and I think that's why he's so effective. He knows how to prepare with the things that he's got. His mind seems to be working all the time.
And definitely, but arguably, people would say that Shakur Stevenson is the best defensive fighter in boxing. How do you crack that defense? How do you break through there?
I don't think anybody's ever attacked and hit Shakur like Gervonta Davis is going to. Yes, you're right. Shakur is an extremely talented young man, but you're talking about a guy in Davis who is just as talented, but a little more resourceful, in my opinion.
Well, I hope Javante, that doesn't fight Jake Paul, and he takes a fight with Lamar Roach or Shakur Stevenson. We keep him in boxing because he's excellent for boxing. We all love
Yes.
Javante Tank Davis, but these circus sideshows, these fighters getting 50 million, I think that everybody will start running to do exhibitions instead of real fights, right?
Yeah, but listen, if they offered you that, would you turn it down? Of course not.
No,
I wouldn't.
I'm
No,
taking
of
it.
course
Yeah,
not.
I'm taking it.
These guys got to take care of
Exactly.
themselves. You got to remember. I think I was talking to one of my fighters the other day about this. You have to remember
Mhm.
when you're finished as a fighter, there's no manager, there's no promoter, there's no trainer that's going to send you a check. So you best take
Exactly.
care of yourself. We all work for percentages, and when we get paid, we go about our own ways. And when a fighter's finished, they're on their own, so they better take care of themselves. So if that's what he needs to do in his mind, then more power to him.
Okay, so after that, if that goes through, then hopefully we'll see him again, and he'll fight the super fights, and continue to build on his legacy, right?
I hope so. I hope so.
Definitely. But switching gears, I want to talk about the super fight, September 13th, Canelo Alvarez and Terrence Bud Crawford. You face Canelo. Abel, you have the game plan how to beat Canelo Alvarez. I feel that Triple G beat him, both fights. But who am I to say? What are your thoughts on the fight, and what are some of the tricks that Canelo does that Crawford needs to be aware of?
Well, in my opinion, in order to beat Canelo, you're gonna have to be willing to take a shot, and to press him, and make sure that you keep him busy and keep him backing up. If you can't muscle him, if you can't be more effective than he is with his punches, and you push him back, then you're not gonna beat him. You leave him on the outside, he's gonna pick you apart. He's gonna pound your arms. He's so damn strong, just like Gennady was. Guys like Bivol that were able to press him and be stronger than him and just keep activity on him. Those are the kind of guys that are going to beat him. Terrence, I don't care if he goes up to 200 pounds. It doesn't have that in time. Doesn't have that. If he would have done this, if he'd have fought 3 or 4 guys already at that weight and built up his work ethic and his strength by competing and by beating guys at that weight, then I could see it. But he's ballooned up to whatever it is that he is, which is, in my opinion, the worst thing he could have done. But then again, who am I to again question a Hall of Famer like that, right? But if it would have been me, I would have kept him at 170 pounds. The weight that he's going to fight at that way, he wouldn't have to lose nothing. He'd be as strong as he could be at that weight instead of. From what I understand, he's in the 90s. If he is, maybe that's just hype. I don't know. But if he is in the 90s, he's going to have to drop down to the high 60s. That doesn't make any sense to me. But he's a Hall of Famer, man. He's a great fighter. I just don't think that he's big enough. I don't think that he's strong enough to be able to muscle a Canelo. My opinion, the first 3 or 4 rounds, Terrence will have an advantage because of his speed, hand speed. But once Canelo assimilates and gets used to the combinations coming at him, I think that it's a sparring session again for Canelo as he's had in the past with. Listen, the last 4, 5, 6 fights that he's had after the middle of the fight is a sparring session. He's just having fun, throwing punches and beating on people. I think that's what happens in this fight. I see Canelo going away towards the end with a decision.
Well, most likely the judges, it'll be hard to get a decision from Canelo Alvarez. So what adjustments would Crawford have to make during the fight in order to be successful?
I think Terrence needs to make sure that he presses as much as he can. Of course, that he's as active as he can. It's a 12-round fight. It's not a 3 or 4 round fight. He's going to have to be P's and Q's for 12 rounds. And to be able to do it for 12 rounds, nobody's been able to do it except for Floyd when this young man was very, very young. We were able to do it in a couple fights, but he's a difficult guy to fight, especially when he starts pounding. I know you got Terrence is going to be getting hit by a truck. That's a big, strong guy that anywhere he hits you, he's going to damage you, and not only zap you in strength, but damage your physique. I think it's a difficult fight. I hope it's a good fight. The public, I think, is looking towards a great fight. I hope it's a good fight for the public, but I see Canelo winning.
Absolutely. Who has the higher boxing IQ? Who's more intelligent in the ring?
I think they're both the same, man. I think Canelo does things in the ring that, listen, he's outsmarted everybody in that he's fought except for Floyd when he was a baby. Terrence didn't look too good against Madrimov, did he? And Madrimov was able to hit him with some shots, and so they're both very smart. I just think that the difference is the size.
Okay, now, if Crawford, he talked about being on Mount Rushmore. He's going to be on the Mount Rushmore of boxing if he's successful against Canelo Alvarez. If he does it, Abel, let's say he does beat him in a decision, Canelo Alvarez. Where do we place him on, on the all-time great list?
Uh, I would say he'd be one of the I'd say in the top 10 for sure, maybe even the top
Top
five,
10.
but top 10 for sure. But he's gonna have to beat Canelo and not get robbed, and Canelo get robbed. Okay, it can't be a
Yeah,
gift. He's gonna have to beat him down and beat him so that there's no question at the end. If there is, then I think we all get cheated, and he gets cheated.
absolutely. And if he was spectacularly able to knock out Canelo Alvarez, which is highly unlikely, but anything can happen. It could be the punch that you don't see coming, and he knocks out Canelo Alvarez. He has to go. He's higher than top five, right?
There's no way in this earth that should even be contemplated. Gennady Golovkin, who's probably one of the hardest hitters of his era, couldn't hurt him. Couldn't hurt him. Bivol, who is a pretty good puncher himself at a heavier weight, couldn't hurt him. Didn't Gamboa hurt Terrence?
Yes, and the Mean Machine dropped him,
Yes.
but they didn't call
Okay,
it a
so
knockdown.
okay, so I mean, you're talking about a guy that's got a neck the size of Terrence's thighs, who has been hit by the best and the biggest, and has never even been rocked at that level. Okay, yes, he got hit with a left hook by Cotto, went against the ropes, but didn't go down. It was more off balance kind of shot. So isn't for me is something that I wouldn't even contemplate. I wouldn't even talk about it. Not somebody wanted to bet that, I would most definitely bet that.
Okay. But Abel, there was a guy with a large neck named Mike Tyson that was a 42-1. He was hyped. He was the favorite to win the fight, and he was knocked out by Buster Douglas. I understand they were both the same weight class. Buster was obviously taller than Tyson, but it can happen. And you don't think
No,
it's happened. I
absolutely.
don't think I don't think it
No,
can happen, but anything can happen. Somebody can get old overnight, right?
no, oh, no, absolutely. No, it can happen, but they both have to be in the same weight division, I think.
Yeah.
Douglas was hitting big guys. Tyson was hitting big guys. Terrence is not hitting big guys. Terrence hasn't been hit by big guys, big strong guys like that. So, like I said, it's for me, it's not even a subject worth contemplating, even thinking about, because it's so far fetched that I think it's ridiculous to even think about it. For me, anyway.
Absolutely. I agree with you. I just wanted to get your opinion, but
Yeah.
I can't wait for the fight September 13th. Will you be in Las Vegas?
Absolutely. I'll have two kids on the card, actually. I have a young man fighting on Wednesday on one of the cards. The other cards that there's like 3 or 4 shows before the big show, I believe.
Yeah.
And then I have one making his pro debut on the prelim card, which is 4 or 5 fights on the prelims. And then on the undercard, I have I think the first fight on TV, a young man named Alakel, who just fought in Saudi Arabia. He's 5-0.
Oh, that'll be great. I can't wait to check them out. I'll link up with you in Vegas, and we'll check out your fighters and everything. But Abel
Most definitely.
Sanchez, the legendary Abel Sanchez, thank you so
Thank
much
you
for
very
your
much.
time. It's always a pleasure speaking to you. I'll talk to you soon. It's Johnny Boy at Fight Hype.
Thank you, Johnny. We'll talk soon.